hosts, Aimee and
Nicole O'Brien.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Era Podcast. Hello, everyone. Hello to you, and hello to everyone watching or listening to this week's Unapologetic Era Podcast, brought to you by nobody yet, but we're taking offers.
Hopefully,
How was your week?
Fresca. Brought to you by Fresca. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, or Diet Coke.
Yeah, my weekend was great. Thanksgiving. Yeah, I hosted. It went good.
Oh my gosh. How many people?
There was about 15 of us. It was just my side of the family, a couple boyfriends and girlfriends of cousins and kids, and yeah, it was good. It was kind of nice. Like, I always am hesitant to host, but it was great. I didn't have to drive.
Fun.
Yeah. Food was good. I ate way too much. Not that that's bad. I just, I had some major digestion issues.
Did you rub castor oil in your belly button?
Yeah, I did.
Did it work?
Yes. I told you I woke up.
Did you wake up totally shitting pants?
Yes, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I was like booking to get to the bathroom. I was having
Oh my God, I literally
issues.
have never heard of that in my life.
Well, TikTok told me to do it, and I try everything that it tells me to do, so it worked.
You are a TikTok trender. So for those of you out there, if you eat too much and get constipated, put a little bit of castor oil in your belly button.
Or bloated, or all of them.
Or put castor oil in your belly button, and you're sure to shit your pants.
Correct. It worked.
That is the
I was
craziest
desperate.
thing I've ever heard.
Something needed to happen.
I told her
I'm in pain.
I told her to drink a Diet Coke. It always works for me. Whenever I'm on an international trip and we're like double whammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did both.
So whenever we're internationally, like on an international trip, and if things aren't going well digestively, I always ask for a Coke Zero. Because most places international, it's not called Diet Coke. It's called Coke Zero. And then I drink that. And it typically gets things moving.
Yeah. Every time I fly, I have issues. I don't know what it is. The altitude, I don't know, air pressure. It's
Thanksgiving is flying.
And then to make it worse, we went to dinner last night because today is my oldest daughter's 25th birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Liv. I know, I feel super old, like 25. How? I don't know. Anyway, we went to dinner last night.
That's how old I was when I got pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway. Yeah, tell them what you ate at dinner last night that double plugged you up.
Brussels sprouts, like fried Brussels sprouts as an appetizer, and they were delicious. And I ate a lot of them. And then I had, what else? We had bread, a whole bunch of appetizers. Yeah, broccoli came with my pork chop. So I ate that. And then we got this s'mores mousse type dessert. And it was the best thing I've ever had in my life. We went to Cooper's Hawk. I do think there's more. I think it's a chain. I think there's more than just Iowa. But anyway, it's s'mores something. You should get it if you go because it was the best thing I've ever had. And I also ate a lot of that. And I felt like, hey, I made fairly good choices. I didn't overeat like I did at Thanksgiving. We got home and I was in so much pain. I was like, I'm
pretty sure it's the Brussels sprouts and broccoli.
It was the Brussels sprouts and broccoli, 100%. I sent Aimee a screenshot of my Google search that said, do Brussels sprouts give you gas? And it was like, yeah, dummy, they do.
They're little gas balls.
It was horrendous. So now I need to have like a really clean week of just like nothing over the top because it's been really hard. Sorry, TMI, but that's what happens. I can't be the only one that's had issues this holiday season.
I didn't have any issues this holiday season, but I am not without issues ever.
There.
I mean,
what did you do?
remember I did poop my pants. Remember I did poop my pants a couple months ago.
Yes. We have bonded over that happening. It happens. No one wants to admit it, but it happens.
You know what? People don't admit it. You think you're gonna fart and you shit your pants.
Yeah.
But you know, what are you gonna do? When you're having a bad day,
that it happened, and then you move on.
when you're having a bad day, just think it could be worse. I could be shitting my pants right now in public.
Yeah.
I didn't do much. We didn't want to travel anywhere because Cowboy just came home and I just didn't. And plus, I have to leave to Bahrain in a couple days.
When did
and my daughter ended up Thursday.
Oh my gosh. How long are you gone?
Until the 16th.
Oh, so are we taking a break?
We're gonna have to take a break. We're gonna have to take next week off.
Okay, that's cool. Sorry. I know all of our listeners are going to be very disappointed.
Seriously, we're probably gonna get a bad Yelp review or hate mail. Or we could film an extra one this week and have it ready. But anyway, this one's gonna be a double whammy. This one's gonna be a doozy of a call. Yeah, what we're gonna talk about today.
Well, I thought you.
Oh yeah, we didn't want to travel. Yeah, we didn't want to travel. Jade ended up not coming home, so it was just Greg and I. I get we probably could have invited ourselves to like one of our friends' house or something, but we're just like, you know what? So I cooked an entire Thanksgiving dinner for just the two of us.
You did.
We just ran out. Yeah, we just ran out of leftovers. It's just basically what we've eaten for since then. It was delicious. I mean, obviously, I didn't make as much food of each of the food that I would normally make. But I made pretty much all the classics, and we just stayed home. I think we watched a movie. We did a lot of chores around the house that I've been wanting to do. Cleaning out my pantry, putting laundry away, throwing things away, cleaning up horse poop.
I've also been doing that. Yeah. I'm doing like a pre-holiday purge.
Yesterday, Greg was like, why are we spring cleaning in December? And I was like,
no, that's for real. I do it every year.
Yeah, I said, well, one, it's a way to get rid of stuff before the end of the year. And two, I've been meaning to do all of this since the spring.
I don't know why. I do it in the spring and in the winter. It's like before all the holiday, Christmas stuff, you'd bring all this stuff in. I just feel the need to like get rid of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, and he did a bunch of spring cleaning too, December cleaning. So that's what we kind of did yesterday. Anyway, nothing exciting, but exciting for us around here as empty nesters.
Yep.
Okay, so that's our recap. Let's get into this juicy of a podcast. Today,
juicy.
Today, we're going to talk about things that we wish we would have known when we were younger. Now, this doesn't mean when we're like 7, like maybe in our teenage years or like our early 20s, like the years when you think that like whatever, the
like
world
knows everything.
You know everything, but you just don't know fuck about fuck. Those are that's
you think you've got it figured out, and then you realize you were really wrong.
Yeah, but it kind of takes like 20 years to figure out how wrong you were, or at least 10 years or whatever. And now we're
that you were wrong.
And well, maybe it takes until you have adult children where you're like, look, I'm telling you, when I was your age, I wish I would have known this. And they're like, yeah, right. I know. Yeah. How many times do your kids say, I know? And it's really like, really? Did you really know?
You're going to like, now there's things I think of that I'm like, oh, I don't want to admit this because I don't want my mom to say, I told you. Sorry, Mom. I don't want to admit that you were right, but you probably were. A lot of things.
Yeah, I hope our children say this when we're older. when they're
Yeah.
older. I think sometimes she does now, like, okay, you were right. I wish I would have, like, listened to that. But, they have to figure it out.
It's hard to
So,
admit. Yep.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I wrote down 4 important ones. How many do you have?
I have, like, 5, but I feel like some of them kind of overlap a little bit.
Okay, so
Do
I'll
you wanna
go
go
first.
every other?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll go, you go, I'll go, you go.
Okay.
Because they might be similar, but
They
also
might.
kinda, like, bring our viewers on a roller coaster, and I want everybody to, like, relate to this.
Okay.
So, number 1, I wish I would have known that when a relationship ends and seems like it's gonna be the end of the world as we know it, it isn't. And that goes for, like, relationships, like boyfriends, where you just think it's the love of your life and you're so in love, and the relationship ends and you're like, I'm never gonna love anyone like this again. Or
Mhm.
also could be said with a friendship where you're like, this is my best friend in the world. I like my ride or die, would do anything for this person. And then as you get older, you realize, wait a minute, this person that I loved and I put so much love and attention to this relationship,
Mhm.
it's not coming back to me. And those are the situations where it's like, in the moment when that relationship ends, you feel like heartbroken and like you're never going to recover from that, and things are never going to be the same again. And then once you put distance through it, you realize, wow, leaving that relationship, whether it's the love of your life or the friend,
Mhm.
was the best thing that ever happened in my life, you know? And when you're in it and the pain is so deep and you're just think no one else is going to come along to replace that person, I wish I would have known that not only will somebody come along to replace that person you're losing, but that new person is going to be so much better than the last, again and again and
Yep.
again, until you find the people that are going to be in your life truly, uninhibitedly, forever.
I agree. That's a good one. That's a good one. It's like, sometimes I feel like, some of those friendships were just convenient, or, like, you were maybe hadn't experienced a whole lot of different types of people, or, they were good friends at that point in your life, but people change, they grow. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a negative for the reason that you're not as close anymore or not friends. It's just people
Right.
change. Everybody drifts, and that's okay. You
Well,
will
and
find
something
people
that
that
I really
get you.
Yeah, and something that I really realized is that there are going to be people that come into your life that are there to serve a certain purpose or be in your life for a certain amount of time for a certain reason, but that doesn't mean they're going to be there forever. And that's okay. Even if it doesn't seem like it's okay, you'll realize later that it was okay.
Yeah. You keep kinda cutting out. Is that happening on your end too?
Mother effer. Did you not hear anything I just
I
said?
know. No.
Wait,
I was
did you
like,
hear?
"Yeah."
You didn't hear what I said?
No.
What's the last thing you heard?
I don't even remember. You literally were like, I spoke, and then it was like, you kinda like your voice was cutting out, and then your picture went away. Now you're here. Repeat. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. What I next time I start to cut out, go like this.
Okay, okay,
So I stop talking.
okay.
What I had said was that I have realized now in my older age that everybody comes into your life for a reason. And you may not know the reason at that
Yeah,
point, and you may be sad when they're not in your life anymore, and you may think it's a devastating loss, but it's not, because every time somebody comes in your life and leaves your life, there is a lesson there, and there is a
Just
reason.
gonna say that. Yes.
And if you take that and you use that, even if you feel heartbroken and sad and so disappointed about the loss, I promise you'll look back on that and be like, it was meant to be.
Yep.
So that's my
Definite
number one.
lesson. That's great. That was great. Okay.
What's
So
your
mine
number
kinda,
one?
like, plays off this, and it will pass. Like, sometimes you're in a situation or an emotion that is causing you so much pain, and you worry constantly about it. And something my mom always said, "This too shall pass." And I always, like, rolled my eyes, and I was like, "Whatever," It does. And that's kinda plays into what you were saying, like, things change. It's never as bad as you imagine it is, and you spend so much energy just, like, thinking your life is terrible and that you're never gonna feel differently, and then, like, you just one day are like, "God, why did I think that was such a big deal?" Like,
Mhm.
maybe what you were so worried about never even happened, or you just realized, "Why did I even care? This wasn't that big a deal." Like, I feel like that you almost have a lesson in that, going through those
Mhm.
situations that just have to let it go. It will get better. It will pass. I mean, I just feel like I spent so much time in my youth or earlier years, not youth, that's like child, but like 20s, teens, worried about all these stupid things. And honestly, I couldn't tell you probably 3 things that I was so worried about. I just remember always being so worked up about things that they weren't a big deal. Like,
Right. One thing I
don't
told my
sweat the small
daughter,
stuff.
don't sweat the small stuff. I remember in high school, things would happen and it would just seem like the end of the world as we
Oh,
knew it.
yeah.
Like, how are we ever going to recover from this? And now I'm like, I can't even remember half that stuff. And wherever you are in your life, whatever phase your life you are in your life, it's going to pass and it's going to
Mhm.
get easier. It may not seem like it, but some tomorrow is coming where you're going to wake up and it's
Yeah,
easier.
for sure. It's
That's
true.
great. That's a great number one. Okay,
Okay,
my number two. Remember, if I start cutting out, to wave your arms so I stop talking.
I got it. I got it.
Okay, number two. I wish I had known that I would survive and I wouldn't live in fear forever. That's probably one that I think about the most because I lived my entire childhood from as early as I can remember till I was about 17 in fear every day. And somehow I hung on and I fought and I survived that trauma that was my childhood. But I feel like I just wish I would have known. Like, I just wish a crystal ball or, that someone would have just
Yeah.
said, you're going to get out of this and you're going to be okay. Not only are you going to get out of this, but you are going to survive and you're going to be strong and wonderful woman and it's going to be okay. Like, I wish I would have known then that somehow all of that pain and trauma and those adversities was going to shape me into who I am right now to save me from all of that fear and pain.
Yeah.
And that's hard to
But
say
on that
because,
note,
yeah,
if you had
that
known,
pain, maybe I wouldn't be who I am today, right?
yeah, like it sucks in the moment. Like that's horrible that you felt that way and your childhood was like that. But something in you as a child already knew because you did hang on. I mean, you have to feel what you're feeling. You have to go through whatever it is. You don't have that choice, but that made you who you are. And you didn't know that it was going to
Yeah.
work out. So something in you
So
it just speaks for who
yeah,
you are as a person, who your inner person really is. Like, you weren't gonna give up.
So, yeah, and with that, I think that wishing I had known I would survive may not have made me work so hard to be a survivor. You know, I would maybe I would have been like, "Oh, it's all
Yeah.
gonna be okay." But I think that with this,
Exactly.
I wish I would have known advice that I would say, no matter what pain and suffering you're going through, or whatever trauma or abuse or life circumstances that seem impossible and dreadful and inexplainable, that you have the will and the resiliency to fight through that and to survive whatever you're going through, because I think that that is what made me okay, that I didn't give
Yeah.
up, you know?
Yeah. And that's just, like, great for
'Cause
anyone to hear that's going through something, like, just don't give up. That doesn't mean your
yeah,
situation's always gonna be like this,
yeah, I
because
think
look at
not
you.
giving up, because many people in my situation, even some people in my family, did give up, and it's that's sad because they
Yeah,
didn't think a better today was coming, and I was bound and determined to find a better day.
that's beautiful.
So, that's my number 2.
I love it. Good
What's
chick.
your number 2?
My number 2 is, and I feel like I just have learned this in the last few years, is you can't please everyone. You know,
Oh,
it's okay to not follow the crowd, to go do your own thing, and it doesn't matter. Like, stop caring what everyone thinks of you. Like, who cares? I I mean, that has taken me a long time, and sure, I still care to a point, but not enough to change how I feel about myself or my family, or, like, those are the most important things. Don't like, the last few years have really taught me, like, I don't even know people, why do I care? You don't like me?
yeah.
That's fine. I'm doing what's best for me and my kids, my family, my loved ones, my friends. Outside of that, I do not care. Yeah. It's really
That
hard
is a
lesson to
hard
learn.
one.
It's
Yes.
very hard. Like, cause no one wants to feel like they're not liked. But then I'm like,
Yeah,
why do I
nobody wants
care?
to feel like they're not enough.
Right. But then it's like, why do I
Yeah.
care what people who don't know me, don't know the facts, don't know my situation, why do I care what they think of me? I don't. That's hard. That's a really
It
hard
is
one.
hard. It is a hard one, and it's something that I'm trying to still deal with
Yeah.
because in the age of social media, especially because so much of my job is on
Yes.
social media,
100%.
and I I do get in a situation where I do find myself worrying what people think of me,
Yeah.
or worrying if I'm good enough, or worrying that somebody else and it's just like, what am I doing? If I just continue to put my head down and work hard,
Yep.
like nobody's watching me, like nobody can see what I'm doing, nobody could see what I'm wearing or what I look like, then I'm gonna be okay. Because you know what? A lot of those years I fought to be where I am right now, there was no
Yeah.
social media, you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. And it's just like so many of like the influencers or the I'm not saying that's who we are. I'm saying like the people who I'm most attracted to on social media that I enjoy the most are the people that are real. Like I don't want to
Yeah,
look
same.
I would rather see somebody at their worst saying, "Hey, this was like yeah, I want to see good stuff, but hey, this is me today. I look like crap. I feel like shit. I had a horrible experience. Like things just didn't work out. I didn't get anything done." Like that's what I want to hear. Like cuz then
Yeah,
it just like you're real. I don't want to hear all of
it's
my perfect
relatable.
life cuz then I just feel like, "Oh, wow. I'm really like
Yeah.
not doing great." But we I mean, we as adults know that most of the stuff we see on social media is very, like, it's only the good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to forget that and get sucked in, and I just
Yay, you're back too.
Okay, so it's really,
Okay, that's it.
yeah, I'm saying it's really easy
You
to get
so
sucked in. Okay. And it worries me for the younger generation because I know they don't always realize that everybody's life that they see isn't what they show you know, because that sucks. So, yeah.
It's absolutely a highlight reel, if not a completely
Oh,
made
yeah.
up fictional story.
Yeah.
And young girls, 14, 13, God, as young as like 10 and 11 now, if those kids have social media, if their parents
Yeah,
allow
I
it.
was gonna say it's even
To
younger.
25
Mhm.
is such a vulnerable age. Like, can you even
Yeah.
think of how different you are between 18 and 25 and
Yeah.
how much happens in that time? Could you imagine? I look back at that time in my life and I'm like, if I had Instagram, God, I don't know how I barely survived those years as it is, okay?
I'm embarrassed
I can't
looking back at
imagine.
my Facebook at the things I used to post, like, way back when it first started. I'm like, "Oh my god, that's so dumb. Why would I post that?" Like, I wanna just delete it all. But
As the kids would say, cringy.
yeah, it was bad. So, yeah.
You are not a vibe then.
Nope. I'm probably not a vibe now.
Okay.
And guess what? I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
I don't care.
Okay, that's a good one.
Thanks.
That's a good one. Okay, number 3. I wish I had known that the body I hated as soon as 2 years ago, I would wish for today.
Yeah.
I remember very distinct times in the last decade where I didn't think I looked good enough. I didn't think I was lean enough. I didn't think my quads were big enough. My stomach had enough lines. I picked apart my body every day. And I look back on that body I used to pick apart. And I just like want to go back and smack that me
Yes.
for those
Yes.
years and be like, how in the world were you not grateful for all the work that you did to have this strong, healthy body? Because now, you
Yeah.
know what? You're approaching 50, everything's fallen. Gravity is not on our side.
It's like, how did I not
I-
see how good I did look? Like, how did I not see
Yes.
it?
How did I not
I don't
see
get
it?
it. I mean, I've literally been doing this since I was a teenager, picking apart everything. And I'm like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god,
same.
comparison,
And
don't do it."
now when I look in the mirror and I start to pick apart my body, which I want to get back to that lost episode,
Yeah.
I try to remind myself. I try to say, you know what? In 2 years, you are going to wish you had this body right now. So
Yeah.
be nice to yourself.
You know, that's a good point. And try to focus on the fact that you're healthy and you don't have any, like, major health issues. You know, like, we're so caught up in the looks and all that because I can't even say it's because of social media, because I did it as a teenager and we didn't have
Yeah.
social media.
But we
And
had
this
magazines.
I was just gonna say,
17
it was literally
and
17
glamour.
magazine and YM. And, I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up in a really, really small town in the Midwest. Like, I was not exposed to a lot, and so when I saw that or, like, TV shows, Saved by the Bell, I mean, they all were beautiful. Like, that's what I
Mhm.
thought everyone else looked like, you know? I wasn't
Well, it'll
exposed to a
find
lot.
you.
Yeah.
It found us when there is no
Yeah.
social media. It'll find you.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I think it's an ongoing battle for people everywhere, women and
Mhm.
men, to
Yeah.
be insecure about their bodies. And I think that what I wish, which I want to talk to at the end of this podcast, I want to tell you something that I want to talk about on our next podcast. But
Okay.
I think what I wish I would have known and the advice I would give to other people is that if you start caring as much about who you are on the inside and who you are in the mind and the heart, and how you present your mind and your heart and your soul and what kind of person you are. If you spent as much time thinking about that, about being kind and full of love and everything that you are as a person, as you did thinking about how perfect your body should be, can you imagine, like, how much kinder and more amazing and nicer place this world would be?
Oh my gosh. It would be amazing. And yeah, like worry about how you treat people. Like
Yeah.
why I'm gonna start doing like something else. I don't know. Yeah. That's a good point because as I was out over the weekend
Mhm.
doing my Christmas shopping, I always make it a point to smile at other people or say excuse me in an aisle or I mean, I go as far as to if I see someone who has something cute on, I'll be like and I'm in the aisle, "Oh, you look so cute. I like your jacket." People have been just nasty, like,
Oh.
in the stores and, like, just terrible, and I'm just like, What is wrong with everyone?" I find great joy in just smiling at people, and they just might glare at me, and I just keep smiling because 'cause I'm like, "You know what? F you guys. I'm gonna be nice. I hope you feel like
I do the
crap
same
because I
thing.
was nice and you weren't. And
Yeah.
maybe you
I try to
learn
tell people.
how nasty you are."
Yeah. But also, you know what? Like, I try to tell people, "You look really pretty," or "I like your hair," or "Wow." I
Yes.
try to tell strangers I see out something
I
nice
do too.
because
It makes me feel
you
good.
never you never fucking know what that person is going through and
Yes.
how your kind, nice comment could greatly help their day. One day, I'm gonna tell this and we'll move
Yes.
on to your number 3. One
Okay.
day, I was out somewhere. I can't even remember where I was out, and I can't remember where it was, but I was having a really bad day. It was one of those days where I was on the verge of tears. I felt like I was gonna have a mentee B. I It was like one of those situations where, like, if they made it one more thing happen, I was gonna snap. Like, if they made my coffee wrong, I would have thrown it in her face. It was like one of those days. And this girl comes up to me and was like, I just wanna tell you, you're so cute. Your outfit, your tattoos, all of you, you're such a vibe." Ah, she was this younger girl, and I was like, "Oh, why, thank you. That's the nicest
Yes.
thing." And it
I
totally
love it.
changed my whole
It
day.
does. It does. Same. People have done it to me occasionally, not a ton, but
Mhm.
occasionally complimented my outfit or my hair or something, and I'm like the Grinch. You know how, like, the Grinch, like, starts getting his heart grows? That's how it feels,
Mm.
and so then I make it a point to do it to other people.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we are so funny. Okay, moving
We're
on.
freaking,
Everyone should
like,
be
at the same
nicer.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone should be nicer. Okay, my number 3
Okay, what's your next
is
one?
there's no timeline. Yeah, yeah. There's no timeline on your life's achievements or goals. Like, everyone is so stuck in the old timeline of graduate, go to college, get married, have kids, retire, do this and that. There's so many different paths that people can follow that are okay. You don't have to go to college. You can go to a technical school. You don't have to do any of that. You can do so many different things. And I just wish more people realized that's okay. No one is stuck in like this certain schedule of life. Like, I feel like that is what causes so much anxiety for young people. Like, you have to do this, and now you have to do this. And oh, you aren't doing that. Oh, like, oh, you're not in a relationship or you're not. Like, there's so many different
Yeah.
avenues that young people can take and different opportunities. And I wish I had known that it was okay to go on my own path and to not follow the societal norm and not feel guilt over that. So that's
Well, I'll tell you what, I
just for
definitely
people to
didn't
know
follow
that.
the societal norm. I got knocked up on accident, had a baby out of wedlock. Didn't even have a career yet, and I'm okay. Yeah, that is really
Yeah.
good advice because there is a lot of pressure to, like, do this, and this by age dates, right? By, like,
Yeah.
the date
There's
of the
no
age.
timeline.
Like, by the time you're 30, you should be doing this, and that's just so much freaking pressure. Like, let a person live.
Yeah. Why do I have to do like, why do we all wanna be the same?
Mm,
Not everything
we don't.
works for everybody, and that's what makes the world different, you know? We need you just I just feel like I had so much guilt over doing things like I had to do them like everybody else, and I didn't wanna
Mhm.
do that, or it didn't work out for me, and that's okay. Like, I'm
That's
here.
okay.
I'm pretty cool.
And you're
I got some
yeah, I'm
kids.
here and I'm
I got a
pretty cool.
husband. I got 5 dogs. I'm living.
You just need a white picket fence.
I got a black fence. And
Okay.
I will get back.
one.
Now that we're speaking of
Mhm.
outdoors, remind me to tell you what happened today on our first snow dusting tragedy
All right,
in
let's
the
finish this one.
country. Okay.
Let's
Is
finish
this your
this
number 4?
this is my last one, my final one.
Okay.
Sorry, I lost my I wish I had known how to be more confident. I think that this really kind of goes into about your comparison and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like this day and age, granted, I have some body issues right now with the perimenopausal belly and that stuff. But I am very confident in who I am as a person, who I present myself to people. I think one of the greatest compliments to me is when I meet people in real life, like if I meet people at a camp or a seminar, out and about, they're like, wow, you are just exactly how you are on Instagram. And I was so worried that, like, I would meet you and be disappointed. Well, because I think that sometimes people are so not real on Instagram. You meet them and you're like, "Oh,
They're fake.
this is." Yeah, and
They're
so,
fake. I've met fake.
and
Yeah.
so I yeah, me too. So I feel like I am very confident in who I am and in my career and my job and, as a person,
You are. You
and
have, like, you're
I feel
unapologetic about it. You're just like, "This is me.
yes.
I don't care."
And I basically am, and I didn't learn that till Jade was 4. I remember because
I'm
I
glad
met
you remember that
Greg.
exact date.
Well, it's when I met Greg is when I realized, like, why it is exhausting trying to be who I don't wanna be. This is me. And all my glory. I don't wear makeup. This is me. Take it or leave it. And that was the start of my journey. And I feel like now, even now in my 40s, I'm way more confident than I was in my 30s. And I think that I am able to exude that. Is that the right word? Like, I walk into a
Mhm.
room or I go
Yeah.
somewhere and people know that I'm confident. And it's not something I have to fake anymore. And that is so
Yeah.
refreshing. And I wish I
I
would
feel
have
the same way.
had,
Yeah.
yeah, I wish I would have
I
known
was
that when I
not
was younger
confident.
to just be more confident in who you are as a person, because I feel like the more confident you are, the more opportunities open up for you, the more genuine you are, the more unapologetic you are.
Yeah. Ah!
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Not
come
coming
back.
back. Like, "Come come back." The more I feel like the more confident you are, you just exude, like, a positive energy, and that attracts other positive energy, and it attracts, like,
And
I will say
then go ahead.
I was gonna
You
say,
go ahead.
the first time I met you, I don't know if we talked about this, but it was, like, we so Amy and I had been talking off and on, texting, phone calls, but we hadn't met in person yet, and we were at a competition. And you were like texting me, I'm here, where are you? And I'm like, I'm over here. And all of a sudden, the crowd like parted and this beam of light, and we just saw each other. That's how I remember it. In my mind, that's how it was. And we just
Yes. You
ran to each other and started squealing. Aw. Started squealing like teenage girls and hugging. And I know people around us were like, what in the hell are these two women doing? But it was just like all this, our vibes just met, and it was like positive energy. We didn't care what anyone was thinking. We were just so happy.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, that's my story about, yeah, you just exude this positive energy because you are confident, but you are just a great person. Oh, your little thingy fell. Okay.
I know. That's the nicest thing you've
But do you
ever said
remember
to
our
me.
first meeting? Is that how you
I
remember
do
it?
remember. Yeah, and it was like in the Wizard of Oz when suddenly the whole world, like all Wadapalooza was black and white, and then suddenly the
We were
crowd
in
parts
color.
and we see each other and we were in color.
Yes. That's how I remember it. So that's how it happened. Okay.
I hope I never
Okay.
lose it.
You won't. Okay. We're just getting better with age, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 4, and I have another one, but it kind of goes along. I'll just touch on the last one briefly. But my number 4 is not everyone is your friend or has good intentions.
Oh, amen.
Yeah. So I feel like, when I was younger, I was very naive in the fact of like that people actually aren't nice. Well, like I had met mean people. They were bullies, whatever. But like it's just really hard to comprehend that some people have ulterior motives. They want to use you. They just are mean and might want to make fun of you. I don't know. There's just so many people that are not good. And you have to be aware to, I don't want to say you have to be guarded, but to a certain level, you just have to be aware of why people are coming into your life and, what are they adding to your life? Because not everyone has good intentions. And that's hard because it can be hurtful. And to learn that, like, people maybe don't have good things in store for you, I guess, is kind of, I'm not sure how to word that.
No, that
But
is
it's hard.
accurate, and I think that's a great one because I do think we touched on this a minute ago that the more confident you are, you attract people like you, and you attract better people in
Yeah.
your life, I feel. And not to say that I don't have people in my life that aren't confident and that I love them any less, but I feel like you want to
For sure.
attract the people that you're closest to that are going to help you be a better person and help you grow. And as you get older,
Right.
you learn how to let go of the people who are soul
Dang it.
sucking leeches. You learn how to, at least we have a system now so I can stop talking.
Yeah.
You learn how to let go of the soul sucking fucking leeches who take,
Yeah.
and only want something from you. And when you're younger, you don't recognize that very well. It's almost
Yeah.
like you
Or
try
you're afraid
harder
of like, I feel like
hurting
you're
people's
almost like when you're
feelings.
younger, you're afraid to hurt somebody's feelings, even though
Yeah.
it's making you feel uncomfortable or you're being taken advantage of. You're like, is it okay if I don't like this? And it's okay to say
Yeah.
no. That was like where I was going with that. Like, it's okay. You don't have to feel guilt over
Right.
that.
But
And that,
also
yeah, I have
something
like that
that is even
situation right
worse.
now.
Oh. But I
Like,
think
just
something
with,
that's even worse is when
go ahead.
you can tell that you're being taken advantage of. You could tell the person isn't putting into the relationship what you are. So then instead of cutting it off or setting boundaries, you actually end up trying harder or doing more because you're like, maybe if I do more, this person will see like this is the kind of stuff that I want them to do. and then it never
Yeah.
freaking works.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really hard to say no, like, to those people who only reach out when they want something, or,
Oh,
and you don't want to hurt their feelings or cause drama, but God, no. Like, no, it's too
yeah.
much.
I am
That's a
learning
hard
to
one.
say no more. That
Yeah,
is a hard one.
it's a hard one. And then the last one, it kind of maybe factors into some of the other ones that we touched on, but embrace the moment you're in instead of wishing it away. Even if it's hard, if it's painful, if it's grief, whatever, like embrace it. You have to go through it because you learn from it. And that's really hard because I can remember so many times, like, just like, I don't want to feel this way. I want this to go away. Wish this never happened. But if instead of like feeling that or worrying about it, if you just like go through it, I think it's easier. Like, instead of saying to yourself, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to be happening. Well, it's happening. So deal with it because it'll go away faster.
I agree. And it's like when there's a storm and the bisons innately know that the best way to get through the storm is
to go through it.
Wait, listen to the story. Is to go through it and not to run from it or stand in it or be afraid of it, but to get through it. And that's the analogy for you.
That's a great analogy.
Handle your shit and get through it. It gets over so much faster, and then you don't drag it out.
Yeah, the avoidance makes it worse. Just get it over with.
Get it over with.
We're so smart and
we're really fucking smart. Okay, well, those are really good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel pretty good about myself right now that I've learned so much in my 46 years on Earth.
I'm feeling we should write a book.
You are. It's called Cowboy Comes Home.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to illustrate
children's book. I need an illustration. Yeah. Okay, well, viewers, watchers, listeners, if you have any things you wish you would have known, post it, right? Put it on Instagram, comment on the YouTube video, wherever you're listening or watching this, because I'd be curious to see what other women think or men.
Yes.
I love it.
About anything.
Okay.
Because there's more, but those are my top.
There's more. Those are my top.
Yeah.
But I feel like I learned a lot from yours. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I would have known that too. Okay, so before we end this podcast, because we're already almost in an hour. Hopefully people are still watching. One, I want you to tell me your snow story, and then I'm going to tell you about a dream I had and what I want our next podcast. What I am asking our next podcast to be.
Was I in your dream?
Okay, but you tell your snow story first.
Okay, so we had our first dusting of snow this morning, and I'm talking dusting, not even an inch. But my husband thought he should. Well, first I heard him shoveling, which I appreciated. Then I hear the skid loader start up, and I'm like, oh, he's doing the driveway. That must have had more than I thought. And then he left, and I decided to go run some errands. And I am backing out of the garage, and I was like, where's my planters? I have these beautiful, tall, white Pottery Barn planters that are made of like cement. Like, they're heavy.
Yeah.
And
they're beautiful.
I have like 2 tall ones and then 1 small one on the corner. And I'm like, where are they? Like, they're gone. And you cannot move these things. And I was like, so I sent him a text and I said, hey, where's my planters? Ah, you went away. Oh my God, you're not coming back. So I sent him a text and said, where's my planters? And he likes to not respond to me very often. So I'll usually ask one of the girls, hey, text your dad, because he'll respond. Because He didn't want to admit. I knew what happened. As I'm driving away, we have a burn pile, which you might be, if you live out in the country,
Yeah, we
you got
have
a
one.
burn pile, right?
Yeah.
I see my broken planters over by the burn pile. And I was like, so
No.
I know he totally ran into my planters with his skid loader and destroyed them because last year he ran into the garage door and it's already missing part of the garage door. So when he finally responds, he says, they froze and broke. Well, I'm not stupid.
It
They
wasn't.
did not freeze. They've been here for 4 winters and have not frozen. And I was like, you totally ran those over with the skid loader. And then he just didn't respond. So that's what happened. And now I'm kind of pissed because I spent a lot of money on those Pottery Barn planters and now they're gone.
Yeah, those
They're
are
in the burn pile.
expensive.
I cannot believe that.
Those are expensive.
God.
I think it's hysterical that he put them in the burn pile as if you're not going to notice they're gone.
Like, I think he was hoping, like, get away with the evidence, get the evidence gone. She'll never know. He should know better by now. I find out everything. You cannot hide anything in this house. I know everything that goes on.
Yeah,
That's all.
you are a detective.
I am a
Okay.
detective.
Before I read our affirmation card, this is going to sound lunatical, but I
On point.
went to see a plastic surgeon last week about getting my breast implants removed.
Right. We've discussed.
Did you even know I had? Yeah.
Yes. You told me.
Most people do not know I have boobs, that I have breast implants because they're saggy. They look very natural. Most people don't know. But I went to see the doctor. And so now I'm revealing to everyone I have breast implants. And talked about getting them removed. So last night I had a dream that we were doing our podcast to talk about my breast, to document the journey of my breast plant removal. But in my dream, I got everything removed, like a double mastectomy, basically.
Oh, no.
And Mal was there to help me, like, with my PR to basically talk to the people on our podcast about getting my breast implants removed and why I'm getting them removed and all of the things. So she was basically our producer on that episode to talk us through how to present it to the world gently. I know.
I can see that. I can see her doing that.
So
yeah.
So I feel like in our next podcast we should talk about why I've decided to get them removed and all that kind of stuff, maybe, if we want to talk about that.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
And
it's interesting that she was
studio podcast. Yeah, it was a live studio podcast, and Eric was there, who's our producer, everybody. And he
oh my God,
he was there filming it live. He was filming it live and with all of the different angles, and Mal was there to make sure that we didn't say anything wrong and that we were sensitive to younger generations who are thinking about getting boob jobs, not shaming anybody. It was freaking hysterical.
That is. I can see her doing that. She would definitely have an opinion on what we should and should not say. And Eric might just have to deal with all of our nonsense and see things he doesn't want to see. Per usual. Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Love it.
Okay.
I love that.
What a great day this was. Okay. Yeah. Let me get a card here. And I have cards for you. I have to send them. I'm going to send them with your birthday or Christmas present, I think. Okay. Oh, wait. Your birthday's coming up. What's the date today?
No, I just had my birthday.
Oh, yeah. You just had. Olivia's birthday's today. Oh, my God. Whose birthday's coming up? That's not a problem. That's not a now problem.
I don't know.
Oh, my cousin Lisa, her birthday's on the 4th. Okay. What month is it? Okay. I like to send flowers on birthdays, and so I can't forget. Okay.
I do.
This is by Bruce Barton. I don't know who that is. If you have
I've never heard of
anything
Bruce.
really valuable, if you have anything really valuable to contribute to the world, it will come through the expression of your own personality. That single spark of divinity that sets you off and makes you different from every other living creature. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, come out. Right in the middle. Dang it. Start over.
Did you hear?
No.
Okay.
Bruce.
Mother effer.
Bruce, talk to me.
Okay. If you have anything really valuable to contribute to the world, it will come through the expression of your own personality. That single spark of divinity that sets you off and makes you different from every other living creature. I love that.
Why
Okay,
does everyone pull just fit right into our topics?
It literally matches our topic. And I'm not kidding, you guys. I'm not like lying or cheating here. I pull them at random. But I am thinking that this box of cards that I got must be some kind of magic box of tarot cards that may be like a witch bliss.
I was just going to say
Or
tarot
maybe-
cards.
Yeah. Or
They
maybe
I was
we don't
thinking that
know it,
exact
but I am. Maybe I'm kind of a little bit
You
psychic.
psychic?
I don't
You
know
should
because
maybe take
how
up a
many-
new hobby. You're a tarot card reader.
every podcast we've done, it's perfect.
It is perfect. I love that. Aw.
Okay, well with
Great
that,
day.
I hope you all have a great day, morning, evening, whatever time it is when you watch this or listen to it, and be kind and say something kind to somebody today.
Yes, it makes a difference. And we will be back when we're back. We're not sure.
We might skip a week.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.